All right. Hello, Quinn Hoffman.
Howdy, Mike Burgess.
We are here. The zeitgeist of next gen consoles is over.
Is it in full effect?
No,
it is.
It's I would say it's over.
Okay.
Or calm down, and that's why we're here. I thought me and you are the voices of the little people. You know what I mean? We try to get out there and look for some of the smaller games that people might have missed.
Mhm.
While all these next gen games got announced and released, and we covered a bunch, but I thought we'd go back and look at some of the other games. And this is one of them. This is Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. It came out actually the same week as those consoles did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it kind of got buried beneath your Spider-Mans and your Assassin's Creeds and whatnot. So I came back to it here on the Nintendo Switch. I'm playing the Switch version, and I've been really enjoying it. I would say I'm probably, if I were to guess, 5 to 10 hours in maybe.
Okay.
I don't know how to put down this dog, by the way.
That's fun.
It's gonna get a dog now.
Yeah, and I think this game popped on my radar for a little bit because I think friend of the site Rebecca Valentine did an interview with the devs about.
Oh, nice.
About the game, and I read it, and that's when it popped on my radar. But now that I'm actually seeing it in action, I kind of actually want to play this. I've been yearning, Mike. You know me.
Mm-hmm.
I am very much blue collar guy. I love farming. I love farming games, and this just looks like my jam because we have a farm here.
Yeah. So, So I would say this game is one part, like you said, farming sim. Another part, kind of side-scrolling hack and slash.
Okay.
That's kind of the split here. To give a little backstory of the setup for the game. I am Sucuna. She is a daughter of this god of great bounty and harvest.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically you start the game and you're kind of seeing Sakuna. She's kind of your kind of typical, raised in riches, kind of a little spoiled, has not, seen a hard work in her life in her day.
She's a bourgeoisie baby.
Yes, exactly. And you basically she's living in this godly realm, and a bunch of humans essentially break into the realm more or less under her mistake. And as penance, she has been sent to this island of her ancestors to kind of learn the ways of rice farming and making harvesting and growing rice and helping the people around her. So you can see, I'll go into this building here, and then we have a bunch of people in the town, or this little kind of town. This is Mirthy. Not sure of her name, how to say her name. She cooks for us.
Probably Murthy.
Yeah, Tama's my little spirit guide buddy, and then there's some other characters around. The main mission I'm on now, you can see there, the missing child is one of the characters' name is Tawiman, has gone missing essentially, and we have to try and find him. And then there's some other people around. Here's Quinta. He's your blacksmith who will make you weapons and stuff. So I have weapons I can make and equip with him for materials I find when I go out and do the side scrolling stuff, which we're actually gonna do because I'm already a little bit into the farming. You can see my stuff's growing, so I can kind of check on it, and see all the kinds of stuff. I put some fertilizer on there, and that's doing its thing. I can drain and release water as needed. That's kind of all I can do at the moment with it, because as you can see, there's up in the right corner I have my days. So now we're in the springtime on day 2, and then it changes seasons every 3 days, and then
really?
Yeah, and then every season you're doing a different thing with your rice field essentially.
Okay.
and kind of restarting everything. So like you kind of have to, you're kind of growing it through. You kind of plant it towards like early spring, which I did the day before this, and then you're kind of growing it throughout you're growing it and maintaining it throughout the rest of spring and summer, and then before before the end of fall, you have to like chop it and then do a bunch of things to like get the rice and make the rice. And then you have to do that all before winter, because when it's winter you can't really grow anything. And then you just repeat it once you get through winter, it turns back to spring, you grow and plant again. And as you're doing that, it's also like leveling up your different stats, like my exploration level, and I have like health and stamina and damage and attack, and like the more rice you have and are growing, the more powerful you become. It's kind of your backstory here. It's
this
actually
looks very more involved and in depth than I thought it would be.
Yeah, there is a lot going on. I will say, like, I'm a couple hours in, so they do like tutorialize it. It's actually getting to nighttime here, so I'm actually not gonna run out real quick, just because I wouldn't be able to get very far. Because once it turns dark, the enemies in the zones become much more difficult. So I'm just gonna come back and make a meal real quick, and then we'll go out and out and do some murdering, fight some demons. So you can do a bunch of stuff from here. Like you can process. Sometimes you'll get some ingredients. They might spoil after a few days, so you can process them here. All the stuff you have, you can make a menu here of like, hey, I want some broth, and as you can see, that means those are the buffs it's giving me for the next day.
Okay.
Down below, I got some pickled wasabi, but if I want, let's get some strength.
Oh, I like this.
And some luck, and you can pick from like there's like sips, different like dishes and drinks and other stuff. But yeah, that looks good. And then we'll have dinner, and that'll immediately skip it to the nighttime.
Okay.
And you see they're all having their dinner. Sometimes they'll have like little conversations here of just like, hey, yada yada, whatever, just kind of general.
Just like general small talk.
General small talk, island life. So we'll go ahead and rest till morning, and that brings us the next day in spring.
I like that. How you see the day-night cycle happening.
Yeah. So here's my rice field. It's looking good. Sometimes you'll get some weeds in here, and you have to pluck. Oh yeah, here we go. Pull this weed here. Okay. Pull that out. And I like to not have it too much water in here, so I'll kind of drain it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know much about growing rice. So I can't be a judge of your rice farm here, Mike.
Yeah, because it seems like they do give you kind of like as you get deeper in, they'll give you like more specific instructions, but it doesn't seem like it's like too harsh. And even if you find it to end up being too harsh, there is like difficulty settings you can set it to like.
Oh, okay.
So there is there's like a separate difficulty setting for combat, and then a separate difficulty setting for like the farming stuff.
Okay.
So if you want to like set that lower, you can if you want. But
I can be a baby gamer for the actual action, but then I can be an expert farmer. Is what you're telling me.
Exactly. If you want to take that route, you totally can. So yeah, here's a whole bunch of places. I've been unlocking as I go. These are basically kind of like your like side scrolling adventure levels. You can see.
Okay.
You have all your different resources you can find. Like there's stone and other stuff. There's these little grayed out ones. Are kind of I can't actually dispatch anyone at the moment, but it's kind of like the Assassin's Creed thing where like these grayed out ones I can send somebody here, and then they will be there for the day, and then when it hits nighttime they'll come back and they'll have like random resources that they can find in that area. So let's go here, Misty Tier Ridge. This is the area I just unlocked.
Okay.
And I think this is where the mission I'm on I have to find raise an exploration level to uncover the valley. So I think I just have to explore adventure easier. So yeah, now we're like a little side scroller here. And I would say like the combat is kind of Smash Bros ish, because you kind of have like a light and heavy attack. So you can see I have kind of like those little quick slashes from my light attack and these like big swipes for my heavy. But then you can also like hit a direction, like I'm hitting up and light attack. She does this kind of like uppercut.
Okay.
And you can kind of do that with this, and they have that. And then as you're kind of leveling up and like doing farming stuff and like unlocking these levels, you also unlock special moves, which those unlock. You can see they use like a stamina meter as you use them, but they're just like way more effective. And it's kind of the same thing. You're actually equipping those, like, so you can go in the skills here. You can set it to like there's up in a direction does this move, and you can kind of choose them yourself when you unlock them. And then the other thing you have is your raiment, which is like that kind of golden kind of tapestry I have. So you can actually use that in combat, but also you can use it as kind of like a grapple, essentially. Like I can just sit here and shoot on that. But so I was
just gonna say real quick, this gives me kind of Strider vibes.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I think that I like that grappling hook. That's it. I like that. I like grappling hooks in general in games, but I think that's a cool way to have traversal.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Because it doesn't force you down singular paths. You can be like, hey, I can grapple up there and explore on your own terms.
Yeah, and like I said, I can use it in combat here too. Mm-hmm. So if I just kind of tap the grapple button, you'll see she'll like kind of grab it and like swing around them. But also I can I unlock moves and I can grab an enemy and hit a direction. And so there I hit the grappling down and she does kind of like a lunge kick into him. I have like another one that will like grab him and like spin him around, which weakens them and stuff. So there's like a little bit amount of stuff going on, but like at the same time, it's like, it's not that crazy of combat where you have to like do stuff. Dumb flying.
Is that where you're doing like combos and it's like Devil May Cry or something?
Yeah. You do not have to be that elaborate with it. Like right now, I'm just kind of mashing light and heavy, and it's doing the job.
And I think this is cool because I do like when games kind of do something like this because it gives the player a break in action. And it's like, instead of like, don't get me wrong, I love Stardew Valley a lot, but a lot of that game is kind of repetitious task, but that's part of the game design. I think doing something like this where it breaks up like the monotony, so to speak, is kind of smart, and then it can have players focus on stuff that they want.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool that you explore, you do the main stories to further along and find new zones, as well as take care of your farm.
Yep.
So like these two are just kind of like side aspects, with the core through line being that whatchamacallit, the story. I think that's a game design.
Yeah. No, yeah, it is cool, and I think they do a pretty decent job of balancing it. Of like, when you're in a certain season, you might spend a little bit more time doing the farming stuff. Where in another season, like winter, or like when you can't really farm, is kind of a good time to go out and do a lot of as much of the adventuring and kind of going through these levels, and like gathering resources, and whatnot. That's kind of the best time for that. So let's get over here. There we go.
And I think as well as having the seasons be just tied to like basically 3 days, more or less, that's also a smart way to just have like, you can have, it's more like, it's kind of snappy.
It is nice because like, you aren't really waiting around like, all right, I'm stuck in winter and I know, and it's like, all right, this is going to take forever to get through. It's like, you kind of like know your time and place. So like, okay, I just got to get through these. I just got to do just like mess around in these 3 days and I'll be set. Let's start
and then move on.
Yeah,
I do like the platforming here.
Yeah, like this is honestly the first time I've seen some of those really? like jumpy bubbles here, like that I'm like kind of swimming in. I've not seen these in any of the levels before, which are pretty cool. And that's a chest. Yeah, I got a chest there. That's cool.
Yeah,
kind of scrolling there. Let's see.
The one thing I will note about these areas is kind of how, and again, talking about game design real quick. Not a game designer, take everything I say with a fucking grain of salt. Is how they have this big 3D space for that kind of like hub that you're in, right?
Yeah.
But then they have these separately, and then they literally just reuse the same assets and just turn the camera to a 2D. I think that's incredibly smart. Because That's probably really challenging, but
Yeah.
once again it allows for different perspectives because then you see like different stuff in the foregrounds here, and you can kind of like you get a different feel for the environments in 2D linear stuff like this.
Here's a mining. Iron ore is pretty good. I need that for a weapon I'm crafting, actually.
Guess what? There's no fall damage.
No fall damage. Your health will regen over a little bit of time. As you can see, there's kind of like a big health bar, but there's like the kind of symbol next to it, which is kind of already kind of depleted a little bit. When that's like my fullness meter, which you can make more or less depending on like your meal. Like that's that's one of the stats you can see when you're like making a meal. This fullness. Depending on how much you have of that left is how much you'll like regain health. And when that depletes, then you will be unable to regen health until you leave and like kind of restart for the day, more or less. So there is a little bit of management of some stuff in this, but I don't think I have not found it that crazy really yet. I think I've already kind of gone through. I'll double check going through here just in case. Like I think I went up last time. Let's go down to this guy. See what's over here.
I don't think you went this way, yeah.
Yeah, so let's see what's over here.
I do like the water effects.
Yeah, it looks nice for sure. And overall, like this is a Switch version, so I'm sure you could play like probably the PC or a PS4 version, and it probably look a little nicer, or maybe be a little less. There is some spots when you're in that like town area where it gets a little framey. But it's not. But it's not like unplayable though. I think it's been totally fine playing it here on Switch.
For sure. And I think as someone who used to commute, feels weird to say.
Yeah, right.
Especially it feels very weird to say. Like having how the days are cycled is like, hey, during when I was going when I was commuting to school, like taking the trolley, I'd be like, I can just sit down and just do one day and like focus and like, I'll be at my stop for school and I'll just like, you know what I mean? And that's part of the design for this seems very catered towards the Switch. With how it's with the days, how short the seasons are, and like the focusing on specific tasks. I think it's it seems like a very complete like product, and I think because of the way that the design is intended, you can kind of see.
Like it definitely feels catered towards like just kind of like you can totally pick up and play for a little bit and kind of get good and get some stuff done. All right, so
definitely seem. I hate calling games commute games because that's not a thing anyone can do this year.
Yeah,
but this definitely seems like a big commute game.
Yeah, I could totally see the appeal of like somebody who's just like stuck on a train most days or like a subway or something. This will be a good game for this. And it is like I will say it is a $40 game, so it's not like $60.
But it seems very meaty from what you've shown me.
Yeah, and it seems like there's definitely a lot more of the game here because like the last kind of story, like main story thing I did is I fought like there was like the second boss that I fought, and they had kind of like a scene after that where they were talking about like, oh yeah, we haven't been here or here yet, talking about like other more zones to open up. So there you go. That my fullness meter is out. And they'll give you that message saying like, hey, your stuff is kind of done for now. And we probably would be fine to return to home now anyway, because I think we've cleared out
getting
most
to
of this
nighttime,
area. So we'll just pause, hit world map here.
Oh, that's cool. I love that.
You can just sit there. So
cool.
So that's another gathering zone. It looks like that's like a little grayed out. That's a place I can send somebody.
You can send the homies too.
Yeah, I can send one of these fine people back in my town. Or it's not even really a town, but it's
it's just like a little.
It's like a hub or
little village. Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and head up here. We'll check out those houses after there, because those are mainly just like Like the one is a blacksmith who will make your weapons for you, and the other is more like an armorer. But she doesn't really she makes the clothes for my character, like more outfits for your character that will have different effects and stuff.
That's cool.
So let's do process. So I got some salmon here, so I can make some soup stock. So we'll just have those because why not?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Like soup. Wintertime. We're in the wintertime right now. Soup. Excellent. I love me some soup.
Yeah, for sure. It is a good time for that. So we'll do some pickled wasabi. Looks all.
I say that as someone who has the turkey soup simmering on my stove right now.
Oh yeah.
Um.
All right, so that looks good. So we'll have dinner.
Yeah, definitely. This game is. Seeing this game in action is much different than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I definitely got that too. Of once I started playing it, and I will admit, when the game kind of starts off, I think it takes a little bit to get going. We got a bunch of weeds to pull now. Pull these freaking weeds. Yeah, because it kind of you have this whole opening thing where it kind of teaches you kind of the side-scrolling gameplay, and then you finally come to the island, and then it kind of rolls out this farming stuff a little slow, but once you kind of get once you probably get past I would say for me once I got past the first hour or two of that stuff, that's when it started being okay, yeah, I'm enjoying this a lot more, because now I see kind of the whole loop that they want me to do, going through the seasons and going through and managing everything and stuff, and and I've been having a good time, enough to where I want to keep going and see how the game evolves. So let's go.
Yeah. I hate saying this, but this might be a game I play next year.
No, I totally feel it. I have plenty of games there too. So now I have enough armor, so I'm going to make this iron hoe.
Hell yeah,
iron hoe, because that's a big damage buff for me, so that's good. So we'll go ahead and equip it. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Big upgrade.
I love me a good hoe. There's nothing better.
It's true. So some of these do have other stuff going on. I can.
Oh, okay.
They have abilities you tie to them, but I'm assuming they have these ones with empty slots means I can, at some point, slot in stuff those enhancements.
Get some runes or something.
Yeah, I'm assuming I'll be able to do that at some point, but I've not seen that yet. And then here's the lady who can make the young lady who can make new outfits.
The clothes. Okay.
Yeah, let's see if she has anything. So yeah, there's some stuff here. I don't have the stuff for it though. It looks like, but there's just a couple of things I can make now. Yeah. So
this game has definitely garnered my interest, and because all I knew of it was that interview, but that interview was all about localization. It wasn't actually about the game.
Okay, yeah.
So I knew about it very vague. What the actual game is vaguely.
Got it.
But no, it's definitely very interested in it now.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. Here's another area I've been going to. I was trying to see if I could find where the next little story bit is.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's somewhere in here.
Is it not the red dot that was on the map?
No, those red dots are basically larger areas. They're still side scrolly, but they're multiple sections, where a lot of those other ones are just kind of one kind of big map. That you're
gotcha.
You're not going off the screen into a different zone, like you are in those bigger red dotted areas.
Gotcha. Oh no, is that a mole man?
No, it's a big boar man.
The Discord's breaking the fourth wall here. Mike, the Discord stream I'm getting is getting a little choppy.
Okay, that probably because
so,
got it. Here, we'll see.
But don't worry about it. Um, yeah, I'm loving the water here.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
good looking water.
yeah, some nice water effects in this area for sure. Now that I'm like heading, I think I'm like heading to a coastal area.
Yeah,
from these zones I'm coming into, and kind of what they were talking about later. In the story stuff before this.
Why does the boar man have a shield?
Because he's trying to not get hit by me, but then I can just
Instantly mark him.
Yeah, I can just spin around them.
Yeah.
Having this new weapon definitely has helped me out here.
Yeah, definitely looks like a big improvement.
So that's nice.
I've genuinely loved that grappling hook.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. And like I said, you can kind of do different moves on like I can do kind of that. I can do that kind of kick. What's that grabbing them here?
I kind of want if there was a way to like pull them and like slam them. That'd be excellent.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have something like that, but I'm just not. Maybe they're like on a cooldown. Maybe like certain moves are on a cooldown because I think I had. I meant forwards, a toss, like a one of them should be a toss. Yeah. Fling a grappled opponent behind you. Yeah, maybe she can. Maybe only certain enemies can be grappled in certain ways.
Yeah, probably.
Sure. I like that move for sure. That's like smash move. I can just basically I can kind of smack enemies into other enemies with it.
Yeah, I do like how when you smack an enemy, like they'll hit each other. Yeah, it kind of gives you more incentive to be like as close as you can, and you can bunch them up to do as much damage.
Yeah, when you get a big crowd of enemies, it's really fun to do that and just like smack enemies through them. Get here, fish!
Goddamn fish! I don't know why the fish are so evil, honestly.
Yeah, well, they're flying. They're not like in the air. You're not in the water.
That's fair.
So maybe that's how they're evil.
They're like, nah, fuck biology, actually. It's just, yeah. I'm getting more interested in this game. I know there's been a lot of like combat focus here in this Viewpoints, but I think and I'm probably the only person who actually really wants to see like a 30-minute viewpoint on farming.
Yeah, so, and that's kind of the thing of like there is plenty of farming, and see that area was just that. So we actually are finished. The farming stuff is kind of like on a timer, so to speak. Yeah. Because like I already did the initial part, which like like I said, when the first day of spring is like you're quite literally taking seeds out of like one of your storehouses and like going in and you're like planting them in the field. And like even that'll be upgraded. Like at first you can only plant 4 at a you can only plant like 4 at a time, and then it upgrades so you can plant like 2 and 8 at a time and more, like so like these all got planted, and then once you get to the fall, that's when these are fully grown, and you chop them all down. And then there's like another mini game where you're actually like basically like hauling the rice, which is like stripping the actual rice seeds like off of the little plants, and you'll do that in there.
I was gonna say engaging in free market capitalism, and like haggling, but
no, you're not really like selling anything in here, like selling the rice, because like you're just like having the rice because you're all like the whole thing is like you're basically living here now and trying to survive here on the island.
Yeah. You need to work the land to live.
Exactly.
There's a word for that. It's not coming to me right now. I think it's autophonic.
Yeah.
Anyways, I should shut up about things that aren't relevant to this.
No, you're good. But I think like I think we didn't really get to show too much of the farming here just because like it is, like I said, it is time gated, so we would have to go through a couple more days. I could maybe just like, I don't know if it'll let me like jump multiple days or not. I don't think it will.
I mean, I would just say don't worry about it, because I think part of like farming games for me is figuring out how the systems work and how they interact with each other.
Yeah, and there's definitely a decent amount to it, and I think they tie it back into like the core progression really well, because you're getting all your like you're not like gaining. It is kind of acting as your experience, like finishing out a whole season of growing and planting rice and that coming out of good quality and whatnot. Ties back into what we were just doing, where I have more health and I've gotten certain abilities from doing it, and you also get certain more abilities as you grow and plant stuff in here. So there is a bunch of stuff, and I think it's really cool. It's just it is like it is one of those kind of farming games where you have to apply by the day and the night cycles, and different seasons you do different stuff. So it is. But yeah, I definitely think if you're a fan of these style of games, you will find something to enjoy here for sure. I think, like me hanging out with this dog.
Shout out to the dog. I love the dog. Mike,
he's a cute guy.
Thank you for taking me on this journey.
You're totally welcome. Thank you for joining me, Quinn. And thanks everybody for watching. We'll have more of you.
And go read that interview by friend of the site, Rebecca Valentine.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, I'm curious
about
That
localization.
too. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. I'll have to listen to.
I'll send it to you actually.
Cool. Yeah. So check all that out. Thanks again for watching. We're gonna try and do a couple more viewpoints in the near future. With some more like kind of smaller indie games people might have missed because all the next gen craziness that happened recently. So until then, bye everyone.
Bye.